We may have just seen the best Monday Night Raw under Triple H's administration, with the road to WrestleMania really feeling like it is in high gear. And there is so much to talk about what made this Monday Night Raw so good, and we're so close to WrestleMania. This show just gave a lot of excitement, and for a lot of fans, myself included, that kind of have felt that the road to WrestleMania has been lacking a little bit, this show delivered on all expectations and exceeded them way further. And we got to start out talking about The Rock, Hollywood Rock. You see, a lot of people in the beginning of this storyline didn't want to see The Rock and Roman Reigns, and this has turned into The Rock turning heel. The Rock having a corporate Hollywood kind of character in 2024, and Monday Night Raw last night, The Rock was crazy. And not only just crazy, The Rock was violent. Having blood on television, I don't know when the last time we've seen blood really on television in this way, where it was really a part of the storyline. And The Rock told Mama Rhodes, Cody Rhodes' mother, that he was going to hand her a belt, but not the World Championship, a belt with Cody Rhodes' blood on it. And Monday Night Raw kind of showed The Rock already doing so when he kept throwing Cody Rhodes into the bus, and Rhodes was gushing blood, The Rock cursing, kind of like it's the Attitude Era all over again, and having the blood on the belt, and showing really The Rock is the final boss in Cody Rhodes' story. Does it take away from Roman Reigns being the tribal chief? Maybe just a little bit. Does it feel like it should be Cody and The Rock one-on-one at WrestleMania? Yeah, a little bit. But, you know, with all things considered, bloodline rules, assuming it's going to happen on night 2, more the less, it is going to be amazing to see. And I still think Cody Rhodes is going to finish that story. And an integral part of Cody Rhodes' story now is getting through The Rock. And whether you like it or not, The Rock has really contributed to the Bloodline storyline. It's given it new life, and it's contributed to telling Cody Rhodes' story. And to me, this whole angle has really lacked until this very moment when The Rock kept throwing Cody Rhodes into that bus. And that sight of him just holding Cody by his chin as Cody is bleeding, as he tells Cody that your father talked about hard times, but he doesn't know what hard times is when The Rock gets a hold of you. Man, just off the charts. What a villain The Rock has become in this storyline. I'm honestly so surprised at this, and it's not to say that I'm surprised because The Rock isn't good at what he does in the ring. A lot of us didn't even expect the heel Rock to return in 2024. And we're getting a heel Rock, a mix of Hollywood, corporate, and also just a really violent Dwayne The Rock Johnson. This is everything we could have hoped for and more as a wrestling fan, wanting to see the product succeed. This moment was tremendous, and it only is hyping up WrestleMania that much more. And it was great to see The Rock and Cody open and close the show, but as we were getting to the 9 o'clock hour, CM Punk was on our television, and it was great to see CM Punk back, not only on Monday Night Raw, but in Chicago, and his exchange with Drew McIntyre was tremendous. What a segment between these two. It really did not feel like this was scripted at all. They just kind of went out there and laid it out on each other, and it almost felt like this segment was never going to end. Not in a bad way, though, in a good way, just because I was expecting, oh, here comes the commercial. We didn't get that. It might have affected some of the other matches that happened on Monday Night Raw, but nonetheless, I really do think that this segment really helped build Punk and McIntyre eventually, and Punk and Rollins eventually, but also Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins' match, as their match hasn't felt as important due to all this bloodline stuff going on and Seth teaming with Cody on night 1. Now it really brings back what the World Championship means to have on Monday Night Raw and how personal it is on Monday Night Raw between these three men. CM Punk will be the special guest commentator for that match. A lot of people thought that, he might be the referee, and there was a funny moment where the crowd was chanting referee, and Punk basically counted 1, 2, 3 on the mat and basically kind of said, he wouldn't mind being the referee, but seeing these two, he's not going to be unbiased. He would be pretty biased towards both of them. So he's not going to be a fair official in that match. But, to me, I just think, this segment, you look at the Rock and Cody Rhodes segment, you look at this segment, this to me, it just breathes fresh air. And that's what I really wanted in WWE for the longest time, was great wrestling and great storytelling. And we're getting such a great mix of that when we get to these PLEs. And this Raw just kind of felt like such a great storyline driven show. And, you can look at the match times, you can look at maybe even some of the match quality. You can look at why some of the matches were happening. I know a lot of people were kind of saying, well, why is Jay and Nakamura in the main event? But at the end of the day, these storylines are driving WWE right now in a big, big way, and they always will in the world of pro wrestling. And that's what these television shows are for, is to tell those stories. So to tell these stories where The Rock wasn't even advertised for the show and shows up in such a big way by the end of the show, and to also see CM Punk interact with McIntyre and Seth Rollins. And I'm so glad he is going to be a part of WrestleMania. Punk being a part of WrestleMania is a very good thing. And it'll be interesting to see the role he really plays at the commentary desk, and whether he does get involved or not, and maybe even get accidentally super kicked by Rollins or accidentally hit with the Claymore kick. A lot of different scenarios could play out in that picture. So it's going to be interesting to see what Punk does at Mania, being the commentator, and whether he gets involved by accident or just straight up interfering in the match. So I'm really excited to see how this WrestleMania season plays out. Let me know what you think about this year's WrestleMania. Do you think it's going to be a banger? Do you think it's going to be trash? Let me know in the comment section. To me, I'm still very excited to see what takes place at this year's event. And I am going to be there. I'm going to be around a lot of the events around WrestleMania weekend. And I always say, don't expect so much. Go into things with less expectations. That way you don't get too much of your hopes up. And to me, going into this Mania, I'm expecting to have a lot of fun just being around the events. But as for the show goes, for anyone that is kind of doubting this show or is saying that, WWE's kind of been sleepwalking when it comes to building this show, I think this show is going to deliver on all fronts. And it's going to be a great time to be in Philly for WrestleMania. And a lot of these storylines, there's going to be some big payoffs, man. And one of those is probably going to be Cody winning that championship, McIntyre winning the world championship. Some big storyline developments are going to happen, and I'm very excited to see what takes place at this year's event. Thank you all for checking out the channel. If you're not already subscribed, please do so and hit the like button, and I hope to see you again right here on the Anthony Linity Show. Thanks for watching.